Hello, everyone. Mishi here, your host and producer. Today, I'm going to sit down and talk to Diana Konkoff Morgan. She's the founder of Whole Heart Marketing, and there she helps coaches, speakers, entrepreneurs, and small business owners build a more authentic online presence, especially through organic social media that feels aligned instead of draining. Diana, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Mishi.
As our listeners know, I always start a little, light and personal. So, where in the world do we find you? But I'm most curious about how you would describe yourself using 3 words.
How I would describe myself: 3 words: spiritual, committed, creative.
Yeah, great set of words. And where do you live, Diana?
Live in Laguna Beach, California.
Oh, you're a Californian
Southern
girl.
California. I'm a California girl, born and raised. Yep.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about your business for sure. But also, before we go in there, just what comes to mind if you think about your life and go kind of backwards, and where is memory, lifehood experience that kind of you today here in front of me feel, yeah, that's been part of who I show up today and who I am as an entrepreneur? Is there a memory that impacted you so much?
I think that just what comes to mind is, for me, I think I woke up when I was about 12 years old and realized I had the question. Some of us have this question, which is like, why am I here?
Mhm.
I don't see that many people having a very good time with it.
Yeah.
And I want to know, like, what is my purpose? What is my
Yeah.
purpose? Why do people get married? Why do people have kids? All those things came up for me. That's when I really started my own personal quest for become the purpose driven person that I am. And I probably should have said that was one of my words, is purpose driven. I
Yeah.
am
Well,
so purpose driven.
I can relate to that for myself. I had those type of questions early on, like you said, 10, 12 years old. And the quest for understanding, the quest for meaning and purpose. So, yeah, so that has obviously impacted and formed the way you do business. I mean, your business is called Whole Heart Marketing. So, for sure. So, what was the moment then you realized that you needed to take that leap and become the entrepreneur that you are today and the business that you run today? Maybe you've been entrepreneur always. I don't know.
No, I have not. I call myself a recovered corporate misfit. And
Yeah.
I grew up in the era of, I want to make as much money as a man and I'm willing to work twice as hard for it.
Mm,
And I went and, after I finished college, I started on that journey of going into that corporate life. Honestly, I never fit in. I never really, it was really hard for me to fit in. It was
yeah.
hard for me
Yeah.
to live that life. It was hard for me to be who I was, a person of integrity. And
Mm,
really, by about my mid 20s, had one of those experiences where, yeah, I got really sick because I was so unhappy and
oh.
I almost died. And I
Mm,
had like that sort of out of body where you're looking down at yourself and you're like, okay, my guides were telling me you can leave now if you want to. But I knew I couldn't leave because I already
mm,
believed in past lives and did not want to come back and do any of it again. And then also, I saw my mom and it's like, oh, I can't leave. So I made that commitment at that point in my life that if I have to be on the planet in a body, I want to be happy and I want to feel a sense of purpose. And so that wasn't enough to get me to quit my corporate job. But then super long story short, I got married, I had a child, and one day my son came home from school and said he hated school. And that was the
oh.
turning point for me because it was like, all right, well, my kid might end up screwed up, but I have to feel like I gave it my best shot. And so that was at the point where I shifted to that was my first business, was Blessings to You, my wedding ministry. And it
Mm,
was sort of like my calling. It was like a hobby calling, if you will.
yeah.
And I turned that into a business and I quit my corporate job, turned that into a business so that I could be a stay at home and a working mom and be there for my son. And by the way, he's 37 today. He's totally awesome. He's a girl dad with 3 daughters, married happily. And I'm so happy for them. In fact, the next one's coming in a couple of weeks. And, well, the third one. I say 3 daughters, the third
Yeah.
one. So I decided to turn my hobby into a business and I built
Mm,
my wedding ministry over the next 20 years to over 100 weddings a year. I had 6 other ministers and it was very
wow.
successful. And it was very, very very spiritual ceremonies. And I went and got my master's degree in holistic health education and counseling so I could do marriage prep and relationship coaching, and had this whole business, and it was awesome. And I got to help start a charter school. I got to do all kinds of wonderful things. And there came a point when my son was older and all that, that I was like, okay, I feel complete with this. And it was
Yeah.
about 5 years before I stopped. And it was like, all right, what's my next move? And so during that time, how I became so successful in the last 10 years was that I got ahead of the curve on the internet and I figured out how to get to the top of Google. And that's how I started doing like 100 weddings a year. And so I was
Okay.
like, so I started helping the other wedding professionals with their internet marketing. Not, it wasn't social media yet. Started helping them with their internet marketing, and it's like I was very successful with it, getting someone up to the top at Napa wedding photographer. And okay, this is fun. This is easy for me. It comes
Hmm.
natural to me. And so I just had this epiphany that I could marry my spiritual self, my holistic self, my coaching self with my inner geek, and start to help people who are
Hmm.
healing the world with who they are
Hmm.
and their businesses. And that's how I launched Whole Heart Marketing in 2008. Yep. To help people who are healing the world with who they
Mm.
are and their businesses.
And the rest is history, as I
And
say.
the rest is history. And I wrote in my book, The Whole Heart Social Media Success Formula. That's a lot about my book. I mean, the rest is history, except there is like one more part to it, which is, well, there's many more parts, but there's one more part to that, which is, so, I started with building websites and SEO and all that geeky stuff. Well, then social media happened, right? It was the
Hmm.
beginning of Facebook. And it was like, at first, I really got on social media, Facebook well, it was MySpace to stalk my kids, right?
Oh, MySpace. Yes.
And then Facebook, and I was kind of excited about it. And then I started to see the ugly underside of it. And I realized that I had to embrace it if I was going to continue on this path. And back to who I am as a person, as a visionary and a thought leader, it was like, all right, social media can be the most annoying thing that ever walked the face of the earth.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
Ralph Waldo Emerson said, every sweet hath its sour, and that it can also be a very powerful force for positive change in the world and a tool. And so that's when I shifted. That was like the final shift to really to become whole heart marketing, was just because social media it's a powerful tool, and it's something that, most of the people that I help were not born with a mouse in their hand. They're struggling with what I call the vulnerability of visibility, and being as transparent as we need to be in, or as we have the opportunity to be and need to be if we really want to reach people.
Dana has a picture behind her where the secret ingredient is always love. So I suspect that has been a guiding compass
Yeah.
for you. Yeah, yeah. So how would you describe how when someone asks what you do today, how would you describe whole heart marketing in a way that helps them sort of, okay, I get it.
Whole heart marketing is a strategy of free organic reach. And that is, like you said, free reach. So, what happened for me, I always built my wedding ministry and other things that I've done through networking. I love to network in person. Remember in the old days when we used to network in person before COVID, right? And so the internet, it took it to a whole new level. And what I realized, I had somebody, I was at a networking event once, and this woman said, I was talking about social media and internet marketing. She said, well, I just prefer to meet people in person. And in that moment, what came out of my mouth was, well, the internet is really just a 24/7 networking event.
Hmm.
It's an opportunity to network, connect, and build relationships. So, everything is energy. So, you and I were exchanging energy.
Yeah.
Whoever's listening to this is experiencing our energy. So, the goal is to transmit who I am energetically as well as I can so that you experience me as if you were experiencing me in person.
Mm,
And that is
yes.
what I do. That's what I help people do. I
Mm,
help people to be on the internet in a way that is natural, that is organic, that I'm an introvert. I know it's hard to believe sometimes, but I am. And I just can't make myself do all those things that people do, like on reels and videos and all that. And I want to say that you don't really have to do that. You can actually do videos and be who you are without doing all of that. What people are going to feel is your heart. And when you bring your whole heart, like I like to say, bring your whole heart essence to your online presence. So when you bring your whole heart, that's what people feel. The fancy stuff is fine if people want to do that. And if some people love to,
yeah.
but if that's not your thing, it's really okay. And you can still be visible. So what I do is I help people to do that. And I help
Mm.
people to grow their business, to reach more people. My clients are usually people who are healing the world. They're coaches, holistic
Yeah.
practitioners, authors, and they're healing the world with who they are. And that's, I feel like that's my contribution to humanity.
Yeah. Yeah. And as a fellow introvert, I totally subscribe to all that you say and share here. But is there a part of that people misunderstand about this?
Yes, there is.
Mm.
And so it comes in one of five categories. I have like sort of like, and this has come over like the past 20 years of doing this. So it's either it's the message, it's what they're selling,
Mm.
it's their email and social media, or it's like how to delegate. So I used to have a done for you company where I used to do the social media. They would come to me and I would do it for them. What I realized is if they did not show up as themselves, then it doesn't really work. And you
Mm.
can't pay someone to be you.
Yeah.
So I think in answering that question, I'm going to come back to this, but in answering that question, and this is part of that answer, that I think the biggest place where people struggle with social media in the concept of it is that they think it's about selling and they
Mm.
don't get that social media is about being social. It's about connecting and building relationships. It's about marketing, and
Mm.
marketing is not sales. And
Mm.
so that's a huge misunderstanding. And so people come to this internet like, I do it all the time and I didn't get any clients. Or like I ask people, how's your social media? Oh, I'm posting every day and nothing's happening. But so my dream, my vision is that when I ask that question, people would say, I'm networking, I'm connecting with people, I'm having so much fun with it. Like I like to call it playing on social media because I think
Mm.
that's the right mindset. So I'm
Mm.
playing with it, I'm having so much fun, and I'm really making great connections and getting referrals and clients. That would be my goal is for people to be able to say that. And that's what
Mm.
my clients can say.
I think you're touching upon something important that could sort of change people's perception of what social media is, because I can also feel like there's a lot of selling going on. And who do I follow? Yeah, I follow those as bring the heart to it, but to see it as a playground and not necessarily it can be part of a funnel, of course, but not see it as something you have to do
Exactly.
through
Because
just
people
pure
feel that.
sales.
People feel that energy. It's like
Yeah.
when you come to your social media, like I share this, excuse me, I share this every time I speak or share with anybody. I say pick five people a week to play with.
Mm.
So who are those five people? They're active on social media for this game. They are people who your messages are in alignment because otherwise these days especially you're not going to want to share their content, they're not going to want to share yours. They are in some way or other a strategic partner. So
Yeah.
maybe you do the same thing but you target different people, maybe you do something different. There's somehow somebody that could refer you and would refer you, and you start playing with them. So what does playing look like? It's basically, loving, following, sharing their content. It's not pasting your buy my this in their DM, right? You have to say that. So, but it's like it's engaging. And the more you do that, so that's how I built my social media following over the past 20 years. Is not I didn't it wasn't that formal back then, but that's what I do. I pick five people a week to play with. So when you open your social media, you're not saying, well, what do I say? You're saying, who am I talking to? What is the
Mm.
struggle? What does this person need from me today? What is going to cause them to lean in and become curious? And who am I playing with? And
Mm.
then you go from there. And even that one strategy, if somebody implies that, it's going to change your social media experience forever because you're going to start liking your notifications and you're going to start liking what's in your feed and you're going to start caring about your social media in a way that is going to create a whole different result.
What I've noticed in my lurking persona on social media, no, but
Well,
yeah, well, not really. Still, there is this trend that is like, oh my God, Claude just killed it, or oh my God, blah blah blah. Comment prompt, and we'll
right.
send you a link. Everyone is doing the same thing. Like they're
Yeah,
saying something fast and something. Oh my God, I think triggering the FOMO aspect of social
exactly.
media, right? And you comment like prompt, for instance, and then I go to my DMs and then get me a link and please, where can I send the PDF? And then they
Right.
get my email, right? And I don't know. It depends. Once you start clicking, that's how your feed will look like. So once you start clicking on something else, it will change. Listening to you, yeah. I mean, that way the human, the heart center aspect of it is so important. Otherwise, it's just going to be like a strange echo chamber.
Exactly. And the thing is that when you start to play this game, picking five people, like I say, stop scrolling. Stop
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
scroll. Stop scrolling.
Yeah.
Because that's where you get intimidated, overwhelmed, the FOMO, all of that. So when you get onto your social media, like my thing is, and I tell, so whoever's listening now, you're going to go out of your body when I say this, but stay with me.
Yeah.
I say spend an hour a day on social media. But it's not just sit down for an hour and do social media. And it's not like click on something and then I've fallen into Facebook and I can't get out, or, click on this thing and now you're in YouTube for an hour. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about intentional social media, which
Mm.
means you're going to pick your five people. You're going to find some people that you care and you're going to start engaging. And it's 15 minutes 4 times a day. It's not an hour straight. It's because then when you are
Um,
online 4 times a day, you're going to be able to actively engage in conversations. And that's where you really get seen and where you really get visibility. So,
mm.
so I want to just go back to this, like the comment you made about how everybody's doing all that gimmick, the engagement bait is what I call it.
Mhm, mm.
That's what everyone calls it. So, in my book, and what I talk about, and this is something that I have been doing ever since the beginning, is what I call the social media success formula. And it's 50, 40, 10. So it's 50% of the time that you are on social media, you are actively engaging. You are playing, you are liking, commenting, sharing, I say caring, which is connect, acknowledge, respond, and engage. So you're like, it's like you're at a networking event. You don't walk
Mm.
into a networking event and shove your card in everybody's face. You care about people. You go like, okay, I'm going to meet 3 people, or I'm going to make 2 friends. It's that. Okay. So that's what you're doing for 50% of your time on social media. And on Facebook, it's easy because on Facebook, it's like that's from your personal profile. And then on your business page is where you're doing your business. But you still can do business on your personal profile on Facebook. But it's like your business is your passion for your business. It's not click here, buy my this, buy my that. Like you're sharing your passion for your business. Like, I'm so excited about speaking to you today, or
Yeah.
I'm excited
Yeah.
about my book, or so it's or excited about a client's success. It's passion for your business.
It's
That,
personal from you
yes,
as a person. Yeah.
exactly. And then, so that's 50% of your time. On LinkedIn, you just would kind of divide it on all the other platforms into half and half. But it's easier on Facebook to just know that's what you're doing. And you're doing it again from your personal profile. Because if you think about it again energetically, so, just let this in. Who really cares? Anna Konkoff Morgan liked your post. Oh, Diana liked my post, right? It's a whole different thing. When
Yeah,
people
it
are
is.
running around
Mm.
playing from their business page, I'm like,
Yeah.
no. So that's
Mm.
50% of your time. 40% of your time is to educate, inspire, and motivate. So it's the why. Why is your business? It's not the how, because that's what people pay you for. It's the why. Why is it important? Why should I care? It's
Yeah.
talking about the struggle and the transformation. I am that
Yeah.
person that I don't believe you just talk about the transformation. You talk about the pain too, but you
Yeah.
talk about it in a real and authentic way and sharing your own experience. And the other thing I want to say about that, with all those kind of posts that you were talking about, that like flash kind of posts,
Yeah.
long form sharing story posts are what really is engaging people now. People,
Mm.
we are evolving as a civilization, and people are craving more depth in what they're reading on social media. So the long form
Absolutely.
posts are getting a lot more engagement. So that's 90% of your time. So you're 90% of your time on social media, you are building influence. You
Mm.
are building relationships. So then when you put your 10% of promote, and I recommend to promote something that's free. So, like people can get a sense of how it would be to work for
Yeah.
you, with you. And then, so that's fine. You can do that on your personal and your business profiles. But if here's what happens. I know I need to post. I know I need to do this. I know I need to. Well, I have this workshop coming up. I'll just post the flyer on my personal page. So then you're posting 100% promotion, even
Yeah.
if it's just one thing. And that's when you get dinged and people don't see it and they don't like it. And you get dinged by the algorithms.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you do that formula and you do your 5 people a day, you're going to really notice a difference in your experience of your social media and in your results.
Wow, was really great breakdown of how to look at it. I thought I knew a lot, but this puts a different lens on it. Right? To my ear sounds more fun, but also more real and not necessarily a strange obstacle I have to integrate in my business, but something that you can, as you so eloquently, play with and see what happens. So let's look at your business.
Hmm.
So I know you're already at a strong level
Hmm.
in your business, right? And you said that you want to grow, just not massively. So what does that next level actually look like for you over the next 1-2 years, let's say?
Well, it's been interesting. I used to offer like a million different things, and I've gradually been niching and niching and niching and paring down
Okay.
and paring down. And what I do, like every September, I pause and I say, like, okay, universe, what do people need from me?
Mm.
Because I have so many different things that that I could teach and ways that I work with people. And where I've come to now is that I teach people how to be authentic on social media, how to become willing to be visible. And so that's a lot of I do one-on-one. I have a kind of a program, and then I also have just one-on-one ongoing coaching. And I have a group, and
Okay.
it's a group that meets twice. I was meeting every week last year, and it was like, okay, that's too much. So now we're meeting twice a month, and we have a master class. And the group is it's teaching, coaching, see, it's like, and
Okay.
they're small groups. So I say they are because I have one now, and I'm going to start another one in June. And it's I don't know that I'll ever be that person that teaches like 1,000 people
Uh,
groups. I like 15 people, 15, 20 people is good. And so it's because my 20 years of experience tells me that if a person is not in some sort of a group for, of course, social media is changing every 5 minutes. Like anything I tell you was true as of last night. Although I
yeah.
do teach universal knowledge of the internet, if it's just specifically about Facebook, literally true as of last night.
Yeah.
So you need to be in a group where you can find out what's the latest thing. You need to be in a group for accountability and then just for
Mm.
community and to like
Mm.
share. And like I said, a lot of my clients are people who struggle with the whole visibility thing. So you
Yeah.
want to be continually getting encouraged. So it goes year long, and people just usually stay in ongoing. That's one of the things that I'm building that group. And then also I will build some digital products
Okay.
that what I've been doing now is I teach a lot. I teach master classes almost every month. And after I teach them, I will make them available on demand. And
Okay.
so I sort of have digital products already, but I have a program that I think will make a great digital product that I'm planning to
And
do.
when you say digital project, would you mean like a self-paced course
Yeah,
or?
a self-paced course.
Okay.
It's called My Whole Heart Path to Profit. And
Mm.
it basically encompasses those 5 areas: the message, the funnel, the email, social media, and how to delegate. And it's all, yeah, have all the content, everything ready to go, and I just need to record it, and so I may just have to find
Okay.
someone to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but that's interesting. Actually, I'm gonna make a prediction here, but I do feel that would go very well. I think the demand or the need, I should say, for what you're offering and what you talk about will become more and more palpable for people, I think.
Thank you. I think that too, and it's an evergreen product. I mean,
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
thing that's not evergreen is what specific social media you're going to choose, but based
Mm,
on the fundamentals of social media, it's evergreen.
mm, mm. So why does that version of growth feel right for you right now?
Why? I'm sorry. What's
What why does that version of the growth of your business feel right now?
Oh, because okay, so I'm at a point in my life. I have grandbabies, and I mean, I became an entrepreneur so that I could have freedom. And
Mm.
I love what I do. And I don't ever see myself like stopping working. I mean, I'm just not that person. I don't use the R word. Like, I'm not going to retire. But I do want to have a more flexible schedule. I
Yeah.
already have somewhat flexible. I already have, days off and afternoons. but I want to keep contributing what I can contribute. And I want to scale and I want to have the flexibility.
Yeah. And do I understand you correctly? It's just you and your business. Do you think in terms of having a team as well?
I have a team.
You have a team.
Oh, yeah,
How
I do. I
so
have a team. They're all virtual assistants. I
okay.
have a social media, someone who does graphics, email marketing, all the things that, what they say, do only that which you can do. No,
Yeah.
do only that which only you can do.
You can do. Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's good.
so now whatever I just don't want to do, I have virtual assistants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you've been uh, an entrepreneur for a very long time, a very seasoned and successful one. And as for our audience that are younger in the sense of how many years they've been doing it, you are living proof of there comes a time where you have to start delegating. You can't wear all the hats constantly if you
Right.
want to grow and make your business sustainable.
Right. And I want to say something about that too, which is a really important super tip. It's that you always think you can't afford to hire somebody until you do. And then number one is you make more money. And number two is you think like, well, I don't have enough for that person to do, or I don't know what they would do. And then when you hire that person, you start to understand what they can do
Mm.
because it's sort of like it happens after you do it. You have to create the container and then it gets filled. And then you're like, oh, yeah, now I need someone else and someone else. But that very first person, you just hire somebody to do one thing,
Yeah.
and that's where you start.
Creating and start building that growth and go through all that middle. What feels like the real hurdle? I rephrase that. I tripped on my tongue. So, what feels like the real challenge between where we are now and that next level? Next level. Especially when your work is strongly built around authenticity and organic reach.
That is a good question. And, I would just say I have to take the next step in my own marketing and, just really expand my own marketing to reach more people, and probably hiring somebody to help me with that is going to be the next thing.
Yeah.
The other thing that I'm planning to do, I just was talking to someone about it this morning, is I'm starting a podcast. And 2 years ago, I bought a whole platform for a year and didn't do anything with it. I was just too busy. Wasn't alone, wasn't ready. But now I'm getting more and more ready. I think it's going to be this year. And I think that will also help me to build this next level of my business. Yeah, it just felt, part of it, I'm just going to be totally unplugged here, pull the kimono away, is, so like when I started doing my wedding ministry and doing all of that, I used to say that public speaking was an occupational hazard of my work,
Yeah.
and so I think the podcast for me is also part of that, just pushing myself to that next level of visibility. I am a recovered video phobic, and I have a YouTube channel and I have videos on there, and I do Facebook lives, and we teach that which we desire to master, and I'm getting all of my clients and all of my students to do video, so I got to do it. And
Yeah.
this is the next thing, is being that visible to do a podcast, and also it's not just teaching and it's not just lecturing. It's more of like what we're doing here. It's a
Yeah.
conversation. And
Yeah.
that's very confrontational to me, to
Yeah.
be the you
Yeah.
in it. So that's the next step for me.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be as transparent and honest as you. I've been a producer for long. I'm also an introvert, and when I was asked to interview, I just sure. At the same time, I was extremely self-conscious at the beginning, and in post-production, it was like, oh my god, how do I sound? This is dreadful, and all that kind of stuff. And you get, as you just said, it's like you get used to it. And I love it. I feel so privileged having these conversations. So, yes, I'm rooting for you and your podcast as well.
Thank you. And
Fun,
you do a
fun.
great job too.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're very natural and relaxed, and
Thank you for that. But focus is on you. So, you know, you're very seasoned and very experienced an entrepreneur. And when people start out, wear all these hats. And as you just said, you have your team, you outsource tasks, things that you're not the right person to do that. But we invest as entrepreneurs. We come to a point we need to invest in our business, in ourselves. It could be coaching, mastermind, backend structure, technology, all that kind of stuff. If you really take a look at the rear window, what has been the most valuable investment for you, um, that made you grow as an entrepreneur? Was it a mentorship support system? I mean, there's several things, but I only allow you to pick one.
Oh, one. Well, I have to pick two.
Yeah, let's go to.
You know, okay. So the first one is I had the gift of an amazing business coach when I
Mm.
transitioned from Blessings to You to Whole Heart Marketing, because Blessings to You was still a seasonal business, and I couldn't get it into a year round income. So my
Oh,
business coach asked me, "What do you want?" And I said, "I want year round predictable income." And
mm,
he showed me how to do that. I worked with him for about probably 3 to 4 years. And that was really eye opening for me and freeing. And that was amazing. And that I will take those skills. I take those skills into every day of my business. The
mm,
difference between having a business and being self employed.
yeah,
So that was one piece. And I had, like, in corporate, I had business positions, but I
yeah.
didn't know how to business.
Mm.
And then the other one is I've been involved in a women's business community for like the past probably 15 years.
Yeah.
And that was really important for me too, in terms of the skills that I learned, as well as the community and the support and the networking and all of that. But just, and it was a community that was very focused on things like, how to use speaking to grow your business and how to really get myself out there. Like, I always felt like my mentor, like, she had her hand gently on my back, just always pushing me out to be more public, more visible. And I'm still in that community, and I will be for life. It's that kind of a community.
Yes, and what you're saying is, and so many more seasoned entrepreneurs say, is that it almost like you say it takes a village to raise
Yeah,
a child, but it also takes a village to build a business.
it does.
Uh,
And to
and
be an entrepreneur.
yeah.
Like, there's building a business, and then there's the whole experience. There's what you do, and then
Mm,
there's the whole experience of being an entrepreneur. That
mm,
takes a lot of
mm.
support.
Well, you are a very wise woman for sure. So, but I'm going to do something fun here. Let's say, how should I phrase this? So, if organic marketing were a dinner party, what makes someone the kind of host people genuinely want to come back to?
Oh, that's a good question. They feel welcome. They feel cared about. They feel understood and seen. They
Mm,
feel like you genuinely care, and
mm,
that you're not just having them there with another agenda.
yeah.
That you invited them there because you love and care about them, and you want them to feel.
And so,
And
yeah, sorry, continue.
no, I just thought, and that they're going to get fed really good food. They're
Yeah.
going to get fed and nurtured really good food.
Yeah. And that goes back to what you said at the beginning of our conversation, the sense of that people sense the energetic frequency of what you express, right? You can be nice, but you can be kind. It's a difference the way I see it.
Yes.
So I'm also another question that comes to mind. So for listeners who know they need to show up on social media because we always feel we need that mostly, but the resistance that you talk about, the overwhelm and feel like introvert, a little allergic to the whole thing, what would you want us to understand first before taking any step in the direction of visibility?
Really, I think the first thing is to really go inside yourself and understand within yourself and know within yourself how important your message is. Like, I wrote this blog a really long time ago called
Mhm.
Marketing is Life or Death. And it is because if you think about it, it was about a shooting that happened, a gang shooting. How important it is for all of us to, as healers in the world, to show up and to do what we do for the transformation of humanity. And that if you're not marketing, the life or death aspect of it is somebody might need you and they're going to
Mm,
die if they don't get
mm,
what you offer.
mm,
And you're going to die inside every day just a little bit because you're not getting your message out. You're not living your purpose and fulfilling your purpose. And
mm,
so for me, that's where it has to start. Like this is what gets me up in the morning
mm.
is, on those days when I don't feel like yesterday I had a really bad cold and I did not feel like even getting out of bed,
Yeah,
but I had things I needed to do and I had things I needed to show up for. And that, if I wasn't passionate about what I do and if I wasn't thinking about the people that I touch and the people that I impact, I would have just gone back to bed. But
yeah,
instead, I rallied and then I went to bed at 3:30.
yeah,
The point is that's the first step. So like, when the passion for helping people and making a difference and making the impact that you're meant to make becomes greater than whatever our stories are about being
yeah,
visible, then we show up.
yeah. And how do you help your clients go through that process? Because to me, I think I've had help and I needed help to do that, even if I intellectually can perfectly understand what you're talking about. But
Right.
it is a process.
Yes, and that's that it, yeah. And so once you know, like, okay, I what my message matters, and there's people who need to hear what I have to say, even if somebody else is saying the exact same words, they need to hear it from me. And you can
Mm,
imagine, especially like in my field, there's a million people, but I like to
mm,
say I'm not like the others, and it's true for everyone in every whatever you're doing. You are not like the others. So how I help people is I kind of hold their hand and I take
mm,
them one step at a time. That's why
mm.
I like to have small groups or work with people one on one because it's like, okay, let's look at Facebook. Let's look at who you are. Who do you want to
Yeah,
be? I walk them through how they want to be seen on social media and what's their message. And I walk them through what kind of things I break it down into what to say, who to play with, how to play with people. I really hold people's hand through it. And
yeah,
what I love and the thing that again keeps me going with this because if you read my book you'll read I went through 3 rounds of really God Facebook, this is my life, because it's been like that, like really, because I'm a very spiritual person and like social media really, but it's when I see people who are just terrified and they're not showing up and they have so much to share. And then I see their face when they show up and they get to help people and they get to do what they do in the world. They transform into joy, into
yeah.
fulfillment, into, feeling like they know why they're here on the planet. And that's it's beautiful.
That is a call to action, so to say, for all healers, coaches, service-based, heart-centered entrepreneurs out there to become more visible because the world more than ever, I think, my
Yes.
personal view, needs it. And just as a closing thought or question, let's zoom out then, because this show is called Making It, and usually when we talk of making it, it's like the destination we're after. And here we try to talk about the mess middle things and how hard and glorious and difficult and fun it can be to build your business and be a business owner. So at this point in your long journey as an entrepreneur, what does making it mean to you now?
Okay. I love that question. So, my mission is to raise the consciousness of social media so that we can use social media to raise consciousness and elevate humanity. And when I started this whole thing, I used to say, I want to get 1 million people to participate in that and show up on Facebook of the 4+ billion people, or maybe it was 2+ billion then. And now what I say is that, making it for me, which is why I want to scale my business and do something that I can have millions of people in, is because making it for me would be, to have millions of people, the people who are healing the world, to show up and reaching other people and doing their work in the world and transforming this world that we need this so desperately right now.
Yeah. And as this beautiful end note, I have to ask you then, where can people find out more about you and your work and what you're aiming toward?
Okay. My website is Whole Heart Marketing, WHOLE Heart Marketing. That's really the best place. I'm Diana Konkoff Morgan on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. I'm everywhere. And of course, they can always like email me, diana@wholeheartmarketing.com.
Yeah.
And I would love to, I offer a free training, like a free masterclass every month. So I
Mm.
would love to invite anybody to come. They can find it on my website.
Yeah, we will have all those links in the show notes and below here on YouTube. Yes, Diana, thank you so much for spending this time with me here on Making It. It was such a glorious conversation, grounded and generous in so many ways. I really appreciated the way you brought social media back to something human, intentional, because of that, more sustainable. So thank you for coming.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much, Mishi.
And to you, our dear listeners, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Meanwhile, stay curious, keep building on your business, and keep this line open. Bye.
That's it for this episode of Making It. Thanks for watching or listening. I'm Danny Iny, the founder and CEO of Mirasee. We help coaches, consultants, and creators monetize their gifts. So if you think your expertise should be driving more income than it is, we help you bridge that gap. We do this because we believe ethical and impactful businesses can change the world for the better. This show helps you do exactly that. And if you want to learn even more, you can check out our business education programs and online community at mirasee.com.